Well, this is fun. Dirk, we missed you last night. Penny and I had a lovely night. We went to a live table read of course, Fritz Lang's famous silent film Metropolis. The event was put together by Driftwood's own resident German expressionist Lars Hans, and included some of Driftwood's biggest actors, which included Jeremy Steams, Vanessa Hellspawn, Jebediah Klump, Derek the 15th, Patti LuPone, and of course, Jack Wiley.
They all did so
and
good.
And that is why I was not there.
They were so good.
They were so good. There wasn't a lot of talking.
There was so few lines.
So few lines, but we held space for every line that would have been said. It took 3 hours.
Which means just, I would imagine it was mostly space then.
It was mostly space.
Yeah.
It was very meditative.
Well, that makes sense why Jack was there, because he does a lot of unnecessary bullshit most of the time.
I don't know if I call it that.
I wouldn't call. He was so good. He was so good.
Again, did he have any lines?
No.
I sometimes think
So the best Jack Wiley is a silent Jack Wiley. We agree. I agree with that.
Yeah,
Bench.
I think.
Well said.
I think it's like the
Jack Wiley, for new listeners, is my brother, who is a very well-known and prominent and famous actor out on the West Coast in Starlight City. We don't see eye to eye on many things, but
anything at all.
I acknowledge his success.
You do.
I'm not saying I'm happy for his success, but I acknowledge it.
I think the thing with Jack Wiley is it's all the words he doesn't say that make it such a compelling performance.
It truly is. There's so much subtext.
So you appreciate it when he's not talking. I do as well. I agree.
Because you can see what he's thinking.
Well, the physicality.
You're right. He's got a very dumb guy face where you can see his face and you're like, oh, I'll bet he's thinking this. You know, when you see a guy who's just not got a lot going on up there and he's just sort of staring off and you're like, he's probably thinking about like dog shit or something.
When we asked if you wanted to come to this and you said, no, I'm busy. And we went, oh, what you up to tonight then? And you were like, things. I'm doing lots of things. You wouldn't understand things.
That's such a good Dirk impression.
I just wondered what did you get up to in the end?
Chimichanga extravaganza.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Chimichanga extravaganza.
Listen, Dirk, I don't want to push you on this point more, but you should know that after the table read, Patti LuPone did come up to Jack and like hold him by the arms and said, "You saved cinemas." She was so proud of him. I would have
thought more of Patti.
Oh, she's a huge fan.
Huge Jack fan.
Now I need to rethink my fandom of Patti LuPone.
You don't have to.
I think
because I like her work, but it's like when you think someone's cool, and then they
don't like you.
I wasn't going to say that. I was just going to say they say something that's like, ooh, I really disagree with that mindset or philosophy, or you find out they're like racist or something, and you're like, ooh,
I don't know if liking your brother's the same level.
This burns this person from my mind forever.
I feel like you're putting, because
Jack Wiley is equivalent
brother
to racism in terms of how terrible he is for the world. In my opinion,
he's a lovely actor. He's a very nice man.
So charismatic.
Oh, God, just the cheekbones.
The cheekbones
alone can bring.
Again, we're brothers. We have very similar features.
Yeah.
It's weird how on one, you know how sometimes you see somewhere like star power and you can have two brothers from the same DNA pool and you can go star power to one of them.
Yeah, like to one of them, yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one you go radio star power.
Yeah. Like the Baldwins.
And it's interesting how the one who you say star power is the one who ended up in radio. That's a really funny coincidence.
Yeah. She said star power and the other one goes to radio.
Yeah.
And she said the other one is radio star power.
Yeah.
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 That's interesting how the radio star power one ended up in movies and the actual star power one ended up on the radio.
Don't correct them.
The jumps, the leaps are impressive.
I do have a very high vertical leap. I'm glad you acknowledged that as well. It was a bit out of nowhere, but thanks for bringing it up.
You worked on those calves.
I can reach the net on a basketball hoop.
Yeah.
I can jump and touch the net.
Not with the ball, but just with your hand.
No, with my hand. Yeah. The ball distracts me.
The ball goes anywhere but.
Yeah.
You're like a squirrel with a I guess a ball.
Yeah. Well, they can't hold a ball.
I don't think squirrels are Duncan.
Yeah. They bury it, which
Penny, is
is
that
the
your new-
opposite of what you
I don't
do.
think
Is that your
squirrels are
catch?
Duncan.
Is that your catchphrase?
Yeah, I don't
Squirrels
think
don't be
they're doing-
Duncan?
Yeah, squirrels don't be Duncan. Because like you say, squirrels are gonna bury the nut. So to
Yeah.
put it through a hoop, if anything, is like the
It's the
opposite
opposite.
of
It's
what
the
they want to do.
opposite. It's true.
They don't
Mhm.
want that.
They don't want that at all.
No.
They want that nut.
Indeed.
See, that's
Indeed.
what
That's a spicy chimichanga.
I was gonna say. That's what last night was like. Just a lot of silence and holding space.
Mm.
And I feel like today we're still holding space for the lyrics of Metropolis.
How was so it was a reading.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a table read
Like a
for
live
the
read.
silent.
They all
Okay.
had scripts.
So there was no physicality whatsoever.
No.
No.
So was it clear what was happening in the
was.
film
Like,
at all?
It's strangely,
If there was no
I think
physicality?
if you'd seen the film, it made a lot of
Yeah.
sense. I can imagine if you've never seen the film, the silences without any sort of description would have been confusing,
would have lost you.
possibly alarming.
There was the
But-
only voice that was heard was, of course, the director Jans, who was doing the stage directions.
Yeah. I think if you're a fan, you definitely highly recommend it. I mean, the scripts, each of them were holding a script that was at best 2 to 3 pages long, because obviously no words.
A lot of
Um,
highlighting.
A lot of highlight and a lot of little markers on the side. Like they'd really done their research.
There was
Really.
so many margin notes of like actions and
Yeah.
what is the
I can't believe they would have been able to keep pace and like would have known when they were. Because if you have a whole page that's nonverbal,
Mhm.
I don't know how they're going to know when to turn the page.
Professional actors.
know
yeah,
what I
though,
that's
mean?
why they're good.
Professional actors.
Man,
Working actors.
Working actors.
What can I say?
they just know how to work it.
Yeah.
Working actors work it.
Budding actors.
Some of them are budding.
Budding actor Patty LuPone.
There are different categories.
You
to
call Patty
actor.
LuPone a budding actor?
You have no idea what she's going to do yet. I think this is just the very
Just the beginning.
just
Wow.
the tip of the iceberg.
And
It's
it's a
already got to
shame.
show.
It's a shame that you've given up on her so soon.
Well, when someone shows that they really don't have their head in the game
Yeah.
by respecting Jack Wiley's work, then you got to judge their own
It's
ceiling.
It's funny because last night when we spoke to Jack after, obviously to say congratulations, what a performance,
Mhm.
Jack! Oh, amazing. He was like, "Oh yeah," and I remember you guys were like, "Anytime I want to come on the show, the door's open," and we were like,
Yeah.
"Absolutely, the door's always open for you."
Always open, literally
It's
open.
not always.
Yeah.
Again, when he has something coming out soon, he will have a time slot that he can enter the building, and by the end of which he needs to leave the building.
Which is true for all of us. in a
Beyond
way.
that
That's- yeah,
time
that's
frame,
not-
well, we have passes. We can then come and go as we please. Whereas I like to very strictly regiment his accessibility here in my space, in my house. Jack Wiley has a very specific entry and
I
exit time.
thought you got asked to take your clothes out of the changing room and take them home again. You're not allowed to call this your house.
Yeah.
They asked you to take your trinkets.
They asked me, but what are they going to do?
That's not your point. You do get away with a lot.
Well, we do have tenure here. They can't really fire us.
I don't think they're gonna get rid of you. Something.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
Indeed.
Indeed, Bench. Indeed.
Indeed. Well, let's hold space for that and take a little break. We'll be right back.